Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Renu Sharma. Thank you so very much for visiting here. For the people who are visiting my channel for the first time, I'm not an immigration consultant. However, I have worked with an immigration industry for more than 3 years in operations department. While I was filing the cases from Chandigarh to CHC, New Delhi, so I have gone through the system. There were thousands of applications I have dealt with. So whatever the information I'm going to talk about or the answer I'm going to give you would be backed up with the facts because that's very important. One mistake can jeopardize your applications. I have seen personally. So I'll be very careful while answering and addressing all your queries. So let's jump on to the quick updates now. This is a quick update with new guidelines as on May 28, 2021. I'm going to talk about this whole thing in details once I'm done with reading all the FAQs. So this is a new announcement. If you see here onto the page, it's May 26, 2021. Thousands of confusion would be sorted out right away. So I'll just gonna explain. This is again a quick update. These are the streams which falls under TR to PR. So 20,000 applications is a target where 1,565 has been received. If you see the date here, it's May 28th, 2021. And under this essential non-healthcare, 10,574 to be precise, and 40,000 applications. Yes, this has been reached. And as I mentioned in the previous video also, that we are assuming that there would be again lot of things going to happen because they're going to review these 40,000 applications where things are not really clear. So probably there would be more update onto it. Now talking about the French, I'm not going to touch this. Now let's move on to the quick FAQs. This I again got from various platforms. Again, first of all, thank you so very much for encouraging response. Please subscribe to my channel and hit the bell icon for quick updates because I'm going to cover more and more onto this. Now, first question quickly, do I need to submit PCC again? I did submit while I came to Canada. Also, how would I correct my application? Now, in case if you've already submitted the applications, how could I do that? So I've got the quick update on that because till now it was not clear since if you don't receive an AOR, you cannot update your application. So no AOR has been received. That means acknowledgement of your application. Now, what if I have worked extra hours during pandemic? Will those extra hours be considered? For those who don't know, till August 31st, government of Canada, in fact, has allowed that workers can work for full time and put extra hours. So applicants who are falling in the category where their profile is matching, they have the CL4, they are wondering whether that would be considered. So I'll cover that too. What if my employer denies me to issue experience letter? This is very common query, and I'm going to make sure that I address it properly. What documents are needed under essential worker category to prove my 1,560 hours? That's a benchmark. What if I've already submitted web form for student stream under misplaced receiving document? Now, this could be a little new for some people, like web form, what exactly it is, IRCC web form, and I'm going to talk about that and show you also. But I haven't received any update. Should I submit IELTS journal or academic? I hold study permit. However, I don't have postgraduate work permit. Am I eligible to apply under this category? What if I didn't attach anything related to my biometric? I did go through it, once, but is there any proof I need to submit? I'll cover that too. What if I don't have experience as per NOC, but got 1,560 hours of total experience with my postgrad program? Can my self-employed work experience in an essential occupation in Canada count towards a 1,560 hour work experience requirement for the essential worker stream? Do we need to submit proof of funds for essential worker streams? If yes, how much should we prove? Now, what if I have worked on different roles, on various roles under different pay scales with instant increase in my payroll? Does this affect my application? Also, I've applied for or under CEC, that's Canadian Experience Class. So you basically applied under one category. Another question is like how we can apply under the second one. And I need to increase the number of hours or do I need to, increase, like I have the variation in my pay package? That was a quick question into this. So I'll cover that also. Like in case if you have maybe like a base salary earlier and then instantly you got maybe $23 per hour instead of $14 per hour. So I'm going to cover this question also. I have applied for 2 applications for TR to PR. My first one has issues, so I submitted second one. Should I withdraw the first one, or what's going to happen with my second one? So this is again really good question, and I'm going to cover that in detail. What if I'm working with family business? What documents to be shown for proof of work? Now, can I apply if I have joint experience of cashier and customer service manager in retail together? It makes up like 1700 hours against 1560. That's a requirement. What if I have worked at a fast food restaurant like Tim Hortons as a team member? Will my NOC be food counter attendant? Or if I had some duties of a cashier, would that count toward cashier? A lot of people actually have asked this question, so I will try my best to cover this. Now, without wasting time, let's go on to the updates. Now, this is a quick update I have shown you in my slides here. May 26th, 2021. Let's click on this. If you go on cic.gc.ca website, you will be able to see this is a quick update, and it would probably help in sorting out many of the questions. Without going here, let's jump on to this. Now, conditions, eligibility requirements, applicants applicable to principal applicants. Now, first and foremost, they are actually looking for, I'm just going to give you a brief instead of reading it all. So you need to have at least 1 year of full-time experience. That's what it's saying. And it has to be like, when say 1 year of full-time experience, it has to be in last 3 years time period as per NOC. So that means you need to have 12 months of experience. The hours should be 1,560 hours. So you calculate it should be 30 hours per week. And for part-timers, it should be 20 hours per week as per NOC. And that again, an eligible occupation listed in Annexure A and Annexure B. If you see here again, 1 year of work experience must have been acquired in one or more occupations listed in Annexure. Now, in this A annexure, experience cannot be combined one. It cannot combine with Annexure B occupations. Now, stream B, the 1 year of work experience must have been acquired in one or more occupation listed in Annexure B, or a combination of Annexure, like occupations in Annexure A and B. That means when you are actually going for stream A, it has to be stream A only. You cannot combine the experience with stream B. But stream B, it can be any A or B, but it has to be 1,560 hours. That's the eligibility. Now, the second thing is, as I mentioned in my previous videos, please check those videos. I have covered lots of FAQs. And I'm going to provide the link in the description box below. I have been covering how you can fill up the form, how I actually submit the application fees, everything in detail. So now you have to be employed in Canada in any of these occupations, what's listed as per NOC. You cannot be out of Canada. Also, at the time of applying for this application, you have to be very much available in Canada. Now, you need to have a proficiency in English. Now, for international students, it has been full. So the CLB was actually 5. However, for this second category, non-essential and essential, the CLB 4 is the main requirement, and it has to be IELTS journal. You don't need to go for an academic. That's the requirement. I'm going to cover that too. Now, you need to be residing in Canada with valid temporary resident status. So you need to be in Canada. You need to prove your documents, your student visa, your work permit. You have to give all the documents to support your application. And also you need to show your intention to live outside of Quebec. That's again the second other requirement. And then you have submitted your application under this policy. It has to be electronic, and these are the conditions you have to fulfill. Now, in case if your family member is outside of Canada, like I'm sure that a lot of students who are here studying in colleges, their maybe spouse or their kids are back there in India or any country. So the foreign national should be in Canada, and the foreign national has been included as an accompanying family member. Time and again, I mentioned, even if you're not submitting the fees for your family members, you have to submit their details. Like if your child, you need to submit the date of birth for them. If for your wife, again, the marriage certificate, you need to give that. Even if you're not you don't have an intention of bringing them right away, but you need to submit all the document. That's very important. In case if you've not done it, I'll give you, a brief about IRCC web form today, so that could probably help you. Now, these are the all updates. Now, let's move on to the first question. Do I need to submit a PCC again? I did submit when I came in Canada. How would I correct my application? So it's clearly mentioned onto the website of, if you see here, police certificates and clearances. I know sometimes it confuses. So if you read here, you and your family members don't need to give us police certificates for any period of time before you were 18 years old, or this is the answer, for time spent in Canada. So if you live in Canada, you don't need to submit the police clearance certificate. It's mentioned out there. Now, in case if you already have submitted an application, I'm kind of answering question number 12 again, just to now, if you go on cic.gc.ca website, I'm going to provide each and every link in the description box below, along with the link for all my previous videos, what I have covered. So this is IRCC web form. If you go towards the bottom, you should be seeing, scroll it down, and you see that's type of application and inquiry. So you have to choose permanent residence applied online. And when you do that, you have to, again, you will, by default, it has permanent residence applied online express entry. Scroll it down, you will see that your message must be in English or French, whatever the official language. You have to put your passport number over here, even if you are making a query. Now, in case if you need to update your scanned copy of my original PCC, in my previous video, somebody has asked me and I've covered that. During that time, this update was not there. So till the time you don't have the AOR or application number, you don't have the provision. But now this seems to be open. So you need to update your scanned copy of your original police clearance certificate, the one you had just received, and you have to provide the passport number so that it can be linked with it. You have to put your family name, your given name. Again, make sure whatever information you enter here, it should be the same exactly what you have entered while filling out the form. Put your email address, country of birth, your client ID number, UCI, that should be linked up with your student visa, work visa, whatsoever you have. Application number, you don't have to write anything because you've not received it yet. And then telephone number, mobile number, and again your relationship to the applicant, it would be for the inquirer information. And then just goes down and just check in that little box, click on next, and it will take you to the next page to fulfill that. Now this is all you have to do on IRCC web form. Now moving on to the next question, what if I have worked extra hours during pandemic? Will those extra hours will be considered? So as per my experience and so far information, whatever the work experience you have as per NOC should be counted. So it's again depend upon visa officer how he would evaluate your application. But again, as I said time and again, the number of hours should not go in vain. So you should be hopeful about that. Now, what if my employer denies me to issue experience letter? What documents are needed under essential worker category to prove my 1,560 hours? So if you see here, I'll just cover that. Now, in this case, you see proof of current employment in Canada. So when you apply, you need to provide as many documents as you can. You need to provide your copy of work permit. You have to provide the letter of appointment, your location of work, what exactly you're doing. You have to ask the employer to get you the job duties, your T4 forms. That's again major requirement here. You see here, copies of your T4 tax information slips or your notice of assessment, then your work contracts, your pay stubs, that's very important, your description of main responsibilities and duties, your total annual salary and benefits, your number of hours you have worked per hour. Now, again, your employer name, signature, full address, telephone number. Now, in case if the person, your employer denies, which actually happens most of the time, that he is not agreeing. So you have the email address of your employer. So what you can do is that you can put an email and request him for the issuance of, so that he can issue you the experience letter with job duties and everything. You can always mention that, I'm working as so and so, and I have this following job responsibilities. Could you please provide me with a confirmation email and all? And even if that person, your employer, says no, just take the copy of that and scan it and upload it with your application. It's more like, you need to prove you need to support your application. That's really going to help you. And it could actually boost up your case. Now, next question here is, what if I have already submitted my web form for student stream under misplaced receiving document, but I haven't received any update? Again, you have to just fulfill this IRCC web form as per the guidelines given by IRCC, and you have to just wait for your application number or response from the visa officer. Now, should I submit my IELTS journal or academic? The requirement is for journal, so I would recommend you to go for IELTS journal with CLB 4 under this category for essential worker program, and for international students, the requirement for CLB 5. Now, I hold study permit. However, I don't have postgraduate work permit. Am I eligible? No, I'm afraid if you don't have a postgraduate work permit, you're not eligible to apply under this category. Now, what if I didn't attach anything related to my biometric? I did go through biometric once, but is there any proof I need to submit? Very good question, and a lot of people are confused, so I hope I can help you. If you go onto the website, you'll be seeing that biometric fingerprints and photo requirements. You will be seeing when you scroll it down, it's clearly mentioned biometrics exemption for permanent residents applicants who have given biometrics within the last 10 years. But it doesn't mean that you don't have to prove anything. If you have given, like find out if you need to give biometrics, you can, when you click on that, it'll just take you here and I'll guide you. But in case if you're done, you pay and submit your application. But if you have done that, you have to prove you have the documents pertaining to that. Just submit that along with your application. Now, when you click on this biometrics, it will take you to this page. Find out if you need to give biometrics. I've filled it up just to save your time. So I gave biometrics in the past. It will take you to this next question. Yeah, for which type of application did you give your biometrics in the past? So I would say a permanent residence application only, or even if you type a visitor visa or student visa or this, if are the biometrics you gave for a visitor visa, study or work permit still valid, you would say yes. You don't need to give biometrics, because the validity is again says for 10 years. Here it's clearly mentioned, so don't need to worry about that. But make sure you provide the documents, supporting documents. It's mentioned if you previously submitted biometrics within the last 10 years, please check our website to see if you need to provide them again. If you do not need to provide them again, provide proof with your application that you have previously submitted biometrics to IRCC. So again, the supporting documents for that. Now, the next question here, what if I don't have experience as per NOC, but I got 1,560 hours of total work experience with my postgraduate program? I'm afraid you're not going to get qualified. You need to have an experience as per NOC. My question number 9 is, can my self-employed work experience in an essential occupation in Canada count towards the 1,560 hour work experience requirement for essential worker streams? So, which means that you have worked as a self-employed. So I'm afraid self-employed experience would not be counted at all. They are very clearly mentioned that it has to be as per NOC, and it has to be working for a different firm, right? Or in Canada itself. So it cannot be like a close relative based business. I'll cover one more question related to that here. Now, do we need to submit proof of funds for essential workers? Yes, you need to prove the funds, and this is the requirement here. Number of family members, again, funds required is 12,960 Canadian dollars for one family member. For two, 16,135, and it goes here, the list. Again, I'm going to provide the link in the description box below, so that could help you. Next question is, what if I have worked on different roles under different pay scale with instant increase in my payroll? Does this affect my application? Also, I have applied under CEC. If you have applied under two categories, it will not affect your application. It's clearly mentioned. Only thing is that you have to provide fees. You have to submit the fees under both the categories. Pay package would really not gonna make any difference, even if you are getting $40 per hour or $20 per hour, because their requirement is you need to be working as per NOC for a period of 12 months in last 3 years. That's the clear-cut indication with IELTS of CLB 4. So these are the guidelines, so do not need to worry. And these are the NOCs. You can always go through it. It's mentioned which NOC you have to go through. These are for the annexure A, stream A, and these are for annexure B, that's stream B here. So I'll cover that in detail again. Now, I have applied for 2 applications for TR to PR. My first one has many issues, so I submitted the second one. Should I withdraw the first one? First, now, I'm extremely sorry, whosoever I received this question and I felt bad because you're not supposed to submit two applications. As per the guidelines, the first application needs to be fixed, and when it's need to be fixed, you can simply go to IRCC web form and fix it. If you want to fulfill any kind of deficiency with your first application, just do it on this form. You're not supposed to submit the second application. They will not accept it. So you have to continue with the first application. So in case if you have done that, I would recommend to submit or just rectify your first application. And so it should be easy for you. Now, the next question here is, what if I'm working with family business? What documents to be shown for my proof of work? Now, in that, again, you have to submit all these documents. I'll just cover that. Yeah. So again, the same set of documents you have to prove. Now, when you say family business, it should not be related to your father's business or your mother's business. It should not be a blood relative. But if it is a distant relative, your uncle's business, that's entirely different. As per now, the few things you have to take into account, the work experience has to be as per NOC, and he should be able or she should be able to provide you with all these supporting documents. And you need to have T4 forms, your pay stubs, and all the supporting documents. Now, next question is, can I apply if I have joint experience of cashier and customer service manager in retail? Together it makes up 1700 hours. So as I mentioned in the guidelines, the latest one it's issued, yes, it could be combination of two a profession, but you need to check whether these both cashier and customer. Now, cashier I'm sure, and customer again I'm sure of. Now, cashier is as per NOC B, so this should work for you. And if you scroll it down, you should be able to see the second profession that you mentioned, customer care. So as per my information, you can just go through these and make sure it should match with the NOC. In case if it's not matching, like here, other sales related occupation 6623, you have to check the code and make sure that job responsibilities, what you have worked as a customer service manager, should match with that, because it's more like a sales related. But customer service, it depends, whether you had a target to achieve during the time of your profession. So you have to clarify that as per the job duties. Now, what if I have worked at a fast food restaurant like Tim Horton as a team member? Will my NOC be food counter attendant, or I had some duties of a cashier? Would that count towards a cashier? Very good question. A lot of people. Now I'm going to give complete details. When you go onto the website, you'll be seeing Stream B here, and 6611 is for the cashier. And if you click here, now I had the code for 6711 is actually for food counter attendants, kitchen helpers, and related support occupations. So if you worked as actually Tim Horton, you're falling in this. Your job duties are more close to food counter attendants, kitchen helpers, and related support occupations. More like these are the job duties. If you see, like take customers order, clean, peel, slice, in the back kitchen, these are the back end work. And then dishwashers, and then food service helpers. Now, in case if I type here like NOC 6611, I believe, yeah, that's for cashiers. So just click on it and it would pop up with the, yeah. So now you see the cashiers operate cash register. So it's more like a back end work and dealing with mainly computers and paperwork. So computers or other equipment to record and accept payment for purchase. Now, if you scroll it down, and you'll see that you do greet customers, but you weigh, produce bulk foods, or receive and process payments by cash, check, credit. So this is more like, if you're actually working in maybe like a Walmart, and you're actually in the customer service, and you're maintaining the records of all those things, wrapping and place merchandise in bags. So this is more like that profile. So I'm afraid that the work experience, what you have under this category, it would clash, and it's not going to work. So this was the last question here. Now, I would strongly recommend you to please go through the guidelines what have been issued on May 26th. It's mentioned onto the website, and strongly would recommend you to please check all the NOCs. That's very, very important. Sometimes it confuses people. I will be covering more on FAQs. Whatever the questions you have, just throw it out. I will try to help probably by next week for sure. And everything is mentioned, but sometimes it confuses people. So like in case if you need to update any information, this is the new update we have, IRCC web form. And I would strongly recommend to please subscribe to my channel and hit the bell icon, so I will be able to give you quick update, and you will get the information on my upcoming FAQs and related information. Before I leave, just few things. You need to have IELTS like CLB4 in this category. Work experience should be at least 12 months in last 3 years time period, and your education should be no earlier than January 2017. Like, sorry, your work experience. And then you need to be working, or you need to be studied through DLC, like designated school, and the program should be more than it's actually required. So if you have any questions, you can always reach back to me. Till then, take care, stay safe, and don't forget to subscribe my channel. Take care. Bye.